or stay towards the top, and how much room for error does that kind of leave you guys?
I mean, those are things you can't really be thinking about. You have to focus on the next game and bite off every game as it comes. I mean, we can't look in, the crystal ball and forecast this game, that game. We have a lot of games left, obviously, and just have to focus on each week as it comes and follow our normal process and evaluate the last game and see what we can take from it to learn and get better and take that into training, and then we focus on the next game. It's a long season. Obviously, there'll be ups and downs, and in response to your parity question, when you look at New York Red Bulls losing to Philly Union 3-0 on the road, you look at Orlando getting crushed by Houston, look at KC losing to Minnesota. I mean, right there you can see that anything can happen in this league, and especially on the road, it's difficult for the best teams in the league. To this point, all lost big, on the road. You got to put it behind you. You can't, obviously, lose sight of and perspective on it's one game and it's 3 points, and the fact that we had a few guys out, that always plays into it. The early goal is a big part of the game. Obviously, makes it difficult on the road when you concede 7 minutes in. I thought the game completely changed from there. In analyzing the game, I thought we were fine to start the game. There were no issues. Our shape was good, and then we concede off a throw-in. We throw it in. Darren loses it. We kind of get beat, wide, and miss clearances. We don't clear the ball out, and now we're down. And then from there, I thought we lost composure. I thought we lost our shape, and it was only the third time in 10 games that we've been down with the first goal. So the positive is we scored the first goal 7 times. The negative is we didn't manage it very well. In the other 2 games, Philly and Houston, when we were down early, we kept our composure, we kept our shape, maintained discipline. We got on the ball, and we ended up leveling the score in both those games. In this game, I thought we opened up our lines too much, too early. We didn't keep possession, and then we conceded another goal. And now it really becomes difficult, down 2-0 on the road, chasing the game. So for me, that was a story. In looking at the start of the game, we're fine. It's just after we conceded, we didn't maintain our composure.
Caleb, obviously you weren't able to add a center back in the window that just closed. Just talk about that, and is that still a goal for the summer window?
Yeah. It's still a goal to add someone in the summer window. I think the goal is to add, someone sooner than that, but we just weren't able to get it done. So move it in the summer, and we'll still be looking to add a central defender piece. That was always the goal following Benga being out with an injury early in the preseason.
How frustrating is that, given maybe you would want someone to have more time to just integrate with MLS and all that?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's a part of the business. If you don't, get a guy sorted out, you don't get him sorted out, and obviously, fortunately, we added Lawrence, because Lawrence is obviously, and Roy Miller, they've stepped in and done a good job overall. Lawrence has played 10 games at center back. We added him to play more holding mid, and he's stepped in and played center back in 10 games, and Roy Miller stepped in when Ridgie was out, and we've had our depth tested all year, and it brings more attention to the depth and those losses when you lose. When you win, people forget that your depth has been tested. So that's certainly more under the microscope when you lose.
Back to the parity question, and I know you don't need coaching tools because you got plenty of them, but the fact that you can, the team can see, like, hey, one misstep and look what can happen in the standings.
Yeah.
Does that help you motivate the guys, or is it a motivation for the guys to have that table and one mistake and boom, you see results?
Yeah, I mean, I think they know that. It's a fine line. The margins are very slim in this league. On any given day, they know that. The guys that have been in this league, at least, know that. Anybody can beat anybody, and some of the new guys, sometimes the guys that haven't been in this league, they need to learn that. Sometimes they look at the table, and I think in other leagues they've played in, maybe when you're playing a team at the bottom of the table or that's low on the table, it's maybe a little bit easier game. not in this league. Guys that have been in this league, they know that anything can happen any given day, and in this sport, certainly, all it takes is one mistake off a throw-in to completely change the landscape of the game and make it very difficult. When you look at first goals in a game, it's staggering, the percentages in terms of getting points and results when you score the first goal. And that's been a big reason why we've done well. We've scored the first goal 7 times out of 10 games this year, which shows we're up for it, we're ready, we're hungry. And this was the same, except we give up a pretty poor goal off a throw-in.
I'll play the Jamie role here and ask for the updates on Darlington and Valeri.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be coy, but we don't know yet. Valeri did train today, so he's looking likely. But we'll obviously know more as the week goes on. We have 3 more days of training. Darlington didn't train. He did some work on the pitch with Nick Malonis, our director of fitness, sports science. So we'll see. I think we'll know a lot more tomorrow and in the next several days whether or not those 2 guys will be available. But I'd say most likely Valeri is likely, unless you never know, you have some setbacks. And Darlington, we just don't know yet.